Yes, yeah. Hey, good, Dr. B, I'll be on Ferry Street on Saturday. Stop down.
I don't know if this advertisement, so.
Well, it's,
Good afternoon, everybody. The time is now 3:35 PM. Chairman Hines has asked me to sit and chair this committee this afternoon. He's unable to be here. I'll do my best, so please take it easy on me. Thank you. I'd like to call to order the April meeting of the Public Safety and Emergency Services Committee of the Orange County Legislature. Please note, this meeting is being transmitted live via video stream. The public can find a link to this video stream by visiting the Orange County website, www.orangecountygov.com, clicking on the tab for the legislature and locating the Public Safety Committee meeting on the calendar. At this time, please silence your cell phones, tablets, and other electronic devices. Be mindful that the microphones here in this room are very robust and sensitive, that even small talk and whispering can be picked up on that. So please be mindful of that. And at this time, would you please rise for a moment of silent reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Carrie, would you please call the roll?
DeGanga. Here. Ellers.
Here.
Fagion.
Here.
Sierra. Sassy.
here.
Ramos. Here. Hines.
All righty, and joining us this afternoon, of course, is Madam Chair, Legislator Benelli. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
For clarity, we'll operate using the following format. We'll begin with those who have business here before us. Upon their presentation of the topic at hand, I'll turn to the members of the committee for their questions. Then I'll ask other legislators not on the committee if they have additional questions. Before we begin, allow me to indulge. As former chair of the Rules Committee, I'd like to start my rules meetings with a historical quote. And for today, I found a great one from former President Teddy Roosevelt. Far and away, the best prize that life offers is a chance to work hard at work worth doing. So we do have work to do here today, and with that, we'll start on agenda item number 1. Joining us today is the Director of Probation, Mr. Tim Davidian. Please join us at the table. And I'll be seeking a motion and a second on the following. This is a request to accept and appropriate funds received from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services, which represents reimbursement of funds expended by probation for raise the age legislation for the period of 4/1/2018 through March 31st, 2021, the total of $243,991.28. This is legislative request number 61. Can I get a motion? Motion made by Mr. Sassy, second by Kathy Stiganga. Director, the floor is yours.
Thank you. This is one of those nice occasions where I get to come and say, we're getting money, as opposed to I'm asking for money. This is actually raise the age money that was originally requested back in 2018 based on COVID and contractual delays at the state level. Those claims were not processed until this January. So this claim actually goes from April of 18 through March 31st of 2021 in the amount of $243,000. Primarily that's for salaries that were previously expended. I would anticipate a similar amount for April of 21 through March of 22. And for the funding that we're receiving, we are using $126,000 of that to offset the capital project for body cams and tasers. And we are using the other $117,000 for equipment. The biggest piece of that is going to be body armor that we had anticipated replacing in 2023, but because of the expiration dates being very early in 2023, we're going to have to order and purchase in 2022 because of the problems with delivery and supplies and materials.
Thank you, sir. Questions from the table? Not seeing any. Any additional questions? And not seeing any as well. I'll then, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All righty, we'll move on to number 2. And I see in the audience, we have the Commissioner of Emergency Services, Deputy Commissioner, Chief Craig Cherry. Deputy Commissioner of Emergency Services, the Division of Police Services. Chief, you can join us here at the table if you'd like. I'll be seeking a motion and a second on the following. This is a request to accept and appropriate $22,000 from the Orange County Health Department Community Outreach Division Grant, known as CHWEP MICHC, or Community Health Worker Expansion Program, Maternal Infant Community Health Collaborative Grant, for the purchase of approximately 150 various models of car booster seats for children's ages birth through 10 years old to distribute in the cities of Newburgh, Middletown, and Port Jervis. This is legislative request number 71. A motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Sassy and a second by legislator Stiganga. Chief, the floor is yours.
This $22,000 that's being, we have an inter-MOU with the Department of Health. This money was originally allocated through a DOH grant for their outreach programs. They did reach out to non-for-profits around the county to apply for this grant, but they didn't get any takers on it. So they looked at our traffic safety program. We do run a pretty robust car seat traffic safety program under my traffic safety grant with the state already. So it just fell in line to be the perfect match, to make sure they could get the money timely, get the car seats purchased, and make sure we get them distributed. The acronym actually is MITCH. It's called the MITCH program. And its targets, they have a client base of approximately 150, 120 people around the county, primarily in the 3 cities. So as part of their outreach program with these underserved population, what we're going to do is we're going to do car seat checks that we normally do throughout the county all year, but we're going to target these 150 car seats, which we're going to purchase through this funding, to their target clients. All right, so we'll set up a safety check, we'll hand them out, distribute them to those in need. And the goal is to obviously distribute all 150 of them to their clients. So.
All right, thank you, Chief. Questions from the table? I'll start with legislator Stiganga, followed by legislator Ramos.
I don't have any little kids anymore, but I have the grandchildren. Is there some reason that it's only 150? Because it seems kind of high for, I would think that you'd be able to get a lot more than 150 car seats and boosters, especially if you're getting them all at one bulk.
This is a bulk pricing, and we also have to pay $3,000 shipping for these car seats.
Wow.
So we normally
Government,
purchase,
that is the best.
we have no control over freight shipping nowadays. So, I mean, that's what we've been quoted, and we're working with General Services to make the purchases. And we also get car seats through our child passenger safety grant with the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee as well. Not this many, but this particular program is specific to their clients. So this particular set of seats is if you're a client in their program, you qualify to be part of this car seat. That's basically how this runs. So we'll run ours in tandem with it as best we can. But, you know,
Okay.
we do not pick the audience for this. We also have just public car seat events. And at a public car seat event, if there's someone in need, a kid does not afford one, we have an inventory that we purchase every year as well. So, but this one here, we're going to assist them in getting this done because there was no takers out there in the non-for-profit sector to assist them. So we stepped up to do it.
Thank you.
I got legislator Ramos, followed by legislator Sassy.
Yeah, do you, and I'm not sure if you'll know, because I know this is more from the DOH side, but do you know anything regarding how folks can qualify for this program or how the outreach for the program is handled?
I do not. You have to reach out to the Department of Health. I can get you the contact person for it.
Sure.
I'll make sure I do.
Okay, and legislator Sassy.
You know, it's a great program. I'm glad to see we're doing it. So you had 150, are they equally distributed between the 3 cities or population probably? Or
Depends on where their client base is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And had we done this before, or we've done something through the sheriff's department or?
Well, we also collaborate with the sheriff's office as well.
Yeah.
Our program, we do many number of things through our child passenger seat program. We train certified technicians primarily in law enforcement, EMS, social services, and even some hospital people to be car seat safety technicians. Believe it or not, it's a 4-day school to be certified to put a car seat in a car properly. There's 100 car seats and 100 different cars. They all, none of them line up the same, so you really have to be certified to do that. And the program is really offered countywide through our office and also in conjunction with local police agencies and the sheriff's office.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I remember years ago when my kids were little, I mean, I struggled with that, so I went over to the Crawford Police.
You need an engineering degree to put a car seat in.
Thank you.
Any additional questions at the table? Okay, not seeing any, I'll call the question. Then all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
Yep, okay.
Okay, joining us now, I see we have Under Sheriff Kenneth Jones, and I believe we also have Corrections Administrator Anthony Neely and Captain Lawrence Cavaletti. Good afternoon, gents. We'll start with letter A, and I'll seek a motion in a second on the following. And this is a request to accept a donation of 50 tons of stone from E. Tetz & Sons, a value of $545 for the Orange County Sheriff's Office range. This is legislative request number 70. Motion in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by
Pretty
Mr.
cheap for
Sassy,
50 tons of stone.
second by Kathy DeGanga. Under Sheriff, the floor is yours, sir.
Well, it's my how it was explained to me is the Homeland Security, our partners in utilizing the range, purchased a large amount of stone due to the fact that the range is, everywhere in the spring is very wet. And so in between the paved portions of our range is all mud. And so Homeland Security purchased all this stone in order to fill in. I guess Tetz came over. When they actually assessed it, they said you're gonna need more. And rather than go back and rewrite federal purchase orders, they said they would donate.
Very nice. Any questions from anyone here at the floor, on the table? Okay, sounds pretty straightforward enough. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Need a motion and a second for letter B, this corrections report. Motion by legislator Ramos. And second by Mr. Sassy. And gentlemen, any highlights you'd like to touch on?
Sure. As of this morning, our facility headcount was 369. Of the 369, 133 are ICE detainees. Our marshal border counts at 30. Our total revenue so far to date is $1,928,455.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions here on the floor, and I believe I have Mr. Sassy to go first.
I like just checking your vacancies. You're filling your vacancies, it looks like slowly but surely.
We've been in a holding pattern. We're waiting on the results of the last test.
Okay. And I know we have a lot of like educational programs there. Are the inmates, are they still in operation, or are the inmates not taking advantage of?
We have self-study right now.
Okay.
Because the CDC has stopped all outside programs.
That's what I
so
thought, yeah.
We're in
Okay,
a holding pattern.
right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sassy. Additional questions? Go ahead, Legislator Ramos.
Do we have any idea of, and I know this is coming from the CDC, but has there been any indication of when those types of programming would be able to?
Unfortunately, the governor just renewed the mask mandate inside jails, even though it's lessening all other places. So I would think until the masks go away and they allow outside entities to come inside the jail, really not going to see much movement. So it's really in the governor's hands right at the moment. But you're right, a lot of times being lost to what were otherwise very successful programs. And so the people that are doing some time there are missing out on some opportunities that maybe would have enhanced their future.
Thank you, Under Sheriff. Any additional questions on the corrections report? Okay, we'll move. I'll need a motion and a second on letter C. This is the sheriff's report. So move. Motion by Mr. Sassy, second by Ms. Ramos. And gentlemen, again, the floor is yours. Any highlights you'd like to touch on?
I don't think there's a particular highlight here, except for, we're reducing the backlog of gun permits. I think that remains a big issue. And, we're trying different methodologies to try and lower it out. The 6 months for getting fingerprinted, I don't think there's going to be much push on that because we were shut down. We were booked solid and we were shut down for COVID, and that's really what the backlog is. And there isn't any method to make it up because you've already exhausted all of the appointments that you can have. If there was holes in the schedule, maybe you could have fed it back in, but there was never any holes in the schedule. So when you shut it down for an extended period of time, those people have no place to go. And so we print 7 days a week. If you remember years ago, we only used to print 2 days a week. So we're currently printing 7 days a week.
Questions at the table? On the
Just a
third?
comment, I thank you, I like the format. This really is very user friendly. Gonna kind of go through and see what's going on. I didn't realize when I was reading it earlier that there's quite a competition, I guess, for the K-9 division. You went up to Albany.
Oh, yeah.
That's quite.
They're national, it
Yeah,
starts
yeah.
regional, and you have to earn your way into the nationals, and historically, our unit has done very good, and the people we train.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta remember, it's not just the sheriff's office, but a lot of local agencies train. So if they win, it's really a reflection on the staff that we have over at the K-9 that help train them in the beginning, and then the commitment of the actual trainer and the usage of the dog. So, and the report itself, this is really the product of investigator Samantha Pascal. And she did a great job.
Yeah.
And we all had input to it, but I mean, really, she did the bulk of the work to kind of transform it into something that was easy to read.
Yeah, especially for the public, if they want to look and learn, it's pretty easy. So,
Well, part of the police reform and EO 203, one of the things we discovered during the course of those hearings was, although we were doing a lot, the public didn't know a lot of the things we were doing. And during the course of those hearings, we tried to devise new ways so it's easily accessible. These are up on our website. And so the public can check in and see what we're doing month to month and ask questions back and forth. And, we don't get that many questions from the public, so I don't know if they're not visiting the site or is still unaware. We make a lot more public appearances. We let people know at every fair and festival that this is available to them and they can access it. And so we're hoping that over time that builds on itself.
Legislator Ramos.
Regarding this, do you know if the county has helped promote it at all? Because perhaps that would help if it was put on the county website or the county social media.
Well, it's on our social media. I don't know if the county executive is doing it on his social media.
Right, because I know it has a large following, especially on Facebook, so that may be helpful.
Yeah, we have a large following as well, and they kind of cross pollinate because I think there's, links between them all. And then I would think the legislature has, I don't know if you have a Facebook page, but you certainly, so I'm getting nods, yes. So be the same thing. And that if you want to publicize what's available on the sheriff's office, that'd be great. Because that's really how viewership grows. It's when organizations share it, not necessarily individuals.
Go ahead, Kathy.
I know that a couple of years ago, we were doing a lot of stuff with the training for the active shooter. Are we doing that stuff?
Sure.
Because that really hasn't gone away, and I know that with the schools, they were doing that, and they were coming out and actually helping some of the local businesses.
We still do.
For educational.
We still do security assessments for business at request. We just got done, it's funny you mentioned that we just got done with a school that included 2 chiefs and 3 PDs that for management of a shooter incident. So we not only train civilians and businesses and schools, we're robust presence in schools. We train other PDs as well. We just got feedback, I think, from Washington and New Windsor were there. And, they really liked the school and, we're very complimentary towards our guys that went out there to train them.
I just, only because when I see some of the handgun classes and stuff, it looks like a lot of the enrollment has dropped down on that for requests. So that's-
Well, the lead instructor right now in the civilian handgun training program just had surgery.
Okay,
And so she's recovering. So you're not going to see foot surgery as well. So it's going to be a slower time for her to get back in the saddle and start having classes again. I teach safety and we've had a couple of those classes. And use of force, I continue to teach the people that come to our class. And, people come to that more than once a year. Once they start coming, we kind of rope them into coming. It's a really good discussion. And those classes are going on, but the actual shooting classes are contingent upon the lead instructor. And so we're gonna have a few months off of those. We expect summer to kick it back up.
hey, thank you.
Any additional questions? Want to thank you gentlemen so much. You guys, appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on to agenda item number 4. Joining us will be our legislative counsel, Betsy Abraham. And I'll take a motion in a second on the following. This is a home rule resolution of the Orange County Legislature in support of Senate Bill number 58714 and Assembly Bill number A 9643 to amend the judiciary law in relation to the appointment of grand jury stenographers in Orange County. Take a motion in a second.
So
please. Motion by Mr. Sassy, second by Ms. Ramos. And Betsy, always great to see you. This was brought up in the rules
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes,
Yesterday.
that was
Seems like
yesterday.
100 years ago. And this passed unanimous in rules, and give us a brief synopsis.
So this is relatively straightforward. As you all may recall, we introduced a home rule resolution to request our state representatives to introduce bills that would allow us to amend certain provisions of the judiciary law as they pertain to court stenographers. So those bills were introduced. Senator Skoufis introduced a bill number S8714, and Assemblywoman Gunther introduced bill number A9643. And this resolution basically is a request to fulfill the bill and to move it forward.
Okay. Any questions here? There were no questions yesterday.
No.
That being said, I'll call the question, and all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That being said, I'll seek a motion to adjourn. So moved. All right. Thank you all. You guys have a